Hi, this is Old Man Talking, and I want to put out a video to celebrate going over 1,000 views on my very first video, Old Man Talking, Vblog 1. Not very inspired title. I put it up like a year ago, and now it's got over 1,000 views, which makes me happy. And so this is kind of a shout out to all my subscribers and viewers, especially the group I call the Crazy Land Crew. Amanda, Be Strong 4, Get Real Pretty Girl, Borderline NOS, Miguel, and Danny Z. Hi, thanks for your support over the year. I appreciate it. And I think the reason that first video, which I debated about making for quite a while, has finally topped and proved to be my most popular video was it kind of set the stage, and it included the fact that I had wanted to kill my father, had a strong urge to do it, and that was the trigger point to let me know something was wrong, and I wanted to find some help and ended up in a mental hospital and did find some help eventually. So, but I never kind of explained too much about that. The reason I got into that predicament was, of course, I was bipolar, and I enjoyed my hypomania, and I tended to do crazy things when I was in that mood. And I got so, whatever came into my head at that time, I would do it, you know. You'd do some crazy things. Play dodge 'em with cars on the highway and hugging trees and some other things that I'm not so proud of. But I just had my mind in the mode that whatever came into my head, I do it, right? So when an event came up that really hit me deep, and I was living at home with my parents, freeloading off them, writing a book. When that event came at night, I had the strong urge to kill my father. Now, I was lucky enough that I knew, you know, this was one urge I wouldn't just let take me. The only way I knew to keep from acting on it was to lie perfectly still until I fell asleep, which, I don't know, took a couple hours, maybe 15 minutes, who knows? I don't care. I did get to sleep, and when I woke up in the morning, the urge to kill my father was gone. But in its place was the realization that I was in a world that I didn't want to be in. And so that trigger set me off on the long road to find help. And of course, I didn't have any idea I was bipolar until like 10 years later, but I did get help from the other patients in the mental hospital during my 7 year. Thank God it wasn't 7 years. 7 months stay in a mental hospital, which is about average at that time. Then I moved to New York, and a friend of mine recommended a psychiatrist. He was just the ticket for me. One time I went to his office, I sat down, I didn't say anything. 45 minutes later he says, well, Bob, see you next week. Well, those sessions cost me $50 a shot. So next time I talked, and he would just say a few words. Probably the key word was, do you think that's real? And he began to creep into my mind, not all at once, but slowly, that in my dream state, I wasn't living in the real world. I thought I was talking to my old friends and stuff, but really I was building a fantasy world. And that's why I would go shopping and couldn't find exactly what I wanted. Suddenly I'd feel that everybody around me was hostile, and I'd run out of the store. I'd run down the street and not have purchased what I wanted, and was inconvenient. But over the years, with the help of friends and so on, I've managed to figure out how to live with bipolar, and it's not by giving it to every urge. You kind of have to be careful. I still do crazy things when I'm hypomanic, but nothing on the line of wanting to kill anybody. And so that's about it. And of course, I'm very happy that first Vblog with its uninspired title has ultimately proven to be so well received. And just wishing you all the best out there. If you have mental illness, seek help, hopefully before, you think you're going to kill somebody. And because, right, you may act on that impulse. But you have to realize first, somehow, that you're in trouble, right? Society isn't cutting you slack. Society automatically seeks out those who are unusual and whatever, and bang, puts them down. So those are us with mental illness. We have to learn what it is that's kind of short-circuited in our brain. Today, of course, you could find drugs. There were absolutely no drugs available for like the first 15 years of my illness. And then you have to learn how to function in society, still keep your identity, still be your crazy self at certain times, but within the limits that society sets forth. So that's about it. I see I've gone on way too long anyhow on this. So this is old man talking, saying bye-bye, and thanks a lot for viewing my videos. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye, happiness. Hello, sweet success. I think I'm gonna die. I think I'm gonna die.